Hey guys, so today's a rough day. Today's a very rough day. Um, I don't know. It's been like the last hour trying to calm down my child to get her to go into school and to leave me. I should say to leave me so she can go into school. And she had her principal and her counselor and normally seeing the counselor helps. She goes right with her, but not today. I was seeing the principal, and she'll go with her, and it's all good, but not today. I had to go in with her to the counselor's office, and before we went in, the principal went in there first and talked to her about what was going on. And like right at the back when we walked in there, it was like, if you don't go to school, we're going to get county involved, you missed too much school and you're late, calling late for school, and just like that can't be happening. And I looked at them and said, she's a 504 plan, remember? She's excused from all of her absences and her tardies because of her anxiety attacks. It's in her plan, remember? We talked about this 2 weeks ago. We talked about this. And she went, I know, but still. I'm like, no, not but still. That's why this plan has been put in place, to protect her from this. From that. So, no, that's not involving county, because county are going to be involved when her autism diagnosis comes in positive. And the 504 plan will be turned into IEP. So all of this will be null and void anyways. And it was like just attacks. I felt very much attacked at first. I think it's kind of calmed down, but getting her to leave and do anything she shut down. Olivia literally just shut down today, and it was hard. I started crying a couple of times because it was so overwhelming. She just shut down, and there was no talking to her. She wasn't talking to anybody. And she just kept saying, I don't want to go home. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home. And it's like, no, you need to stay here. You need to stay with your friends and go to school. And she's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And honestly, I think that if the counselor would have came out when we called when we first got there, it would have been different. She'd have really leaned on with her, and this whole mess would have been avoided. But I know it was an hour long. We got there at about 8:15, and it's now it's 9 o'clock, 9:03. So I've been on here for a few minutes already, and so it's been almost an hour of doing this, and then a few minutes at home too. A little bit at home, but there was no fighting, no nothing. I'm struggling. There's nothing I can do to help her, and it sucks. Can't take away her pain, can't take away anything. And it's hard when it's your mental health and you can't see it, but you can feel it. Like, I felt every bit of it. and it hurt. Oh, it hurt me so badly. Oh, it hurt. It hurt. I mean, just the pure terror of her face when I walked away. It was just horrible. Because when she has such a big attack like she did today, I managed to get her out of 2 big attacks. And I wouldn't manage a third if, the people around us weren't trying to help, trying to put their 2 cents in. And making things a little worse for her. But I knew the moment she started throwing up because of her anxiety attack. When they told me to walk away, to leave, with her head in the trash can, she looked up and I was leaving. The pure terror on her face. That's what broke me right there. At that moment, I felt like a crabby mom. I know it's the right thing to do, but I'm sure she's just fine right now, but that pure tear on her face. I can't get that out of my head. I'm telling you, it's the worst feeling in the world watching your child go through this and you can't help them. You can't. You're just sitting there watching them, trying to help them as best as you can, and it's so hard. I just wish there was more out there for her. Like, in this moment while we're waiting, like, right now we're in limbo. We are in limbo for her test results to come back. Like, it sucks. We're in limbo right now. And and then even after the results come back, it's gonna take like a freaking month for them to finalize her IEP plan and under the testing they have to do for her, and it's like a month-long process. And it's a lot. It's a lot right now. And of course, during this next month, we are starting a process of going through our stuff and getting rid of stuff and packing and then moving. I mean, this poor child is having so much changes in these few months that I don't blame her for having these attacks, for having all of this stuff happening right now. I don't. It's a lot of change. She doesn't do go changes just like I don't. So things are changing in her world, and this next year is gonna be a lot of changes too. Because, with this diagnosis and with us moving one more time after this next move, It's a lot. Ugh. I don't even know. Like, things are out of my hands. I don't know what unit we're getting. I don't know. And either place, I don't know what unit, either place we're moving to. But it is a lot of unknowns, and it's driving me crazy. I can't imagine how it's driving her not crazy. Or, it is driving her crazy. But I don't know. I'm trying to hold it together for her. And today was my breaking point. Seeing her terror in her eyes through her mask, and then seeing the full-blown terror as she was throwing up. And every time they mentioned me leaving, every time they mentioned someone intervening, she would freak out just a little bit more. And it's like trying to strong arm her doesn't help, doesn't work on her, sorry. But telling her that you're getting mad at the situation and she needs to do this, she needs to do that. You just lost the battle. You lost the battle, my kid, right there, sorry. You don't strong arm her to do anything she doesn't want to do. And at the moment, she didn't want to let go of my hand or my sweater. And she has a darn good grip. She's strong. And everybody says, oh, their kids are always strong. And no, you haven't met my kid. She is very strong. She used to carry the gallon milk with no problem. 2 gallons on each hand of milk or whatever at one. And she would push a giant box filled to the brim of books. And like it was styrofoam boxes in there. Like it was nothing. It was just like she did things you didn't expect a toddler to do, and just kept on doing it. She just kept at it, and now she's a strong dancer, and she's a beautiful dancer. She puts her heart and mind into it. She is an amazing little dancer. She just needs reminding every now and then about it. That's all. Yeah, it just it's been rough. Today is a rough day, for sure. I don't like it. But they're gonna call me at 11 during her lunch hour, so I guess I'm gonna hold my breath until 11 when I know she's okay. Cause I don't know. I really do not know. And I'm sure you're all saying, just put her out of school, just homeschool her then. That doesn't do me any good. It doesn't do her any good. She needs that help. And I cannot give her that help. I can't. And yeah, she needs to be in school. She needs to be with her friends. She needs to be a social. She needs to be those things. she fights being social. Only people she doesn't know. But she's with her friends, she is just fine. And it is then shown step into the building. I know it's rough. And I think it's because there's so many kids in her school. There's a lot of kids in her school. From, being a 6th through 12th grade school, it's a lot. And a lot of sensory, a lot of noises, a lot of everything. And it is very, very rough on her. It's a rough time for her to leave him because of all the kids all at once. So, I don't know. It's rough right now. That is for sure. Oh, it really sucks that she was fine before in elementary. She really, really was. And I think it was because it was orderly. All the kids lined up at their door and they walked in those lines. Or she'd get there early enough to go right into the school and go for breakfast, and there wasn't very many kids there, so it wasn't as chaotic. And then she just go right down to class, and it was all good. And it wasn't until COVID happened and it kind of changed things a bit more for her. People were going through different doors. They're going through as just a class unit, which is fine. But when everybody is there and you can't go in before everybody to kind of get settled in beforehand, it becomes a lot. And that's when things really got bad this last year. And probably why I didn't even notice things were different until this year. 5th grade last school year, because she always got in early for breakfast. And it'd be the times when we'd be late for breakfast and she'd have to wait in line outside. That's when kind of things were bad. And she'd have her panic attacks. And I never put two and two together until we went here, moved up to 6th grade. And, and it makes me feel like a bad parent at that point, because your kid's so used to things being quieter and mellower and in the early mornings because they're there for breakfast. But I can't get her here early enough to do that because she only sees the chaoticness of after school, of there's a lot of kids here, so oh my goodness. And she doesn't see the fact that she can be there earlier to have breakfast when it's quieter, and then go up to class and be just fine. She doesn't see that part. She just sees the aftermath. And it's a lot. And I'm trying to get her there early enough, but it's not helping. It's not working right now. Oh. And, last week, the principal was like, you need to get her here early enough. You need to get her to bed early enough and wake up early enough. And it's like, No kidding, lady. Like, I think she's in bed by 9. And my alarms are going off at 6:30 in the morning. And 6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:20, need to go. And still by then, she's not even up out of bed. She's awake, but she's shaking in her bed. She's not getting up to get dressed. And it's not from me not trying. Trust me, I try to bribe my kid out of bed every single morning. It's hard. And the next thing I know, it's 7:45 and got 5 minutes to school, and we're 10 minutes from school. And she's panicking and she's freaking out, and and then we get to school about, a little after 8 o'clock, and the school gets mad at me for it. And it's like, I've spent the last 2 hours trying to get her up out of bed and dressed and ready for school. Like, thanks for asking me. Just ask me. Straight up and ask me if everything's okay at home. And I'll tell you. No. I'm struggling. I struggle every damn day. But I do it. I do it, and I come home and I cry. Because it was a rather rough day, or I cried because it was a good day, and she walked in with no problems, but we're still late. And it's like, I'm trying. I seriously am trying. And there's nothing I can do. I can't just pick her up and put her in the car and off we go. She's a little big for that. And I don't know, just can't pick her up and just go like I used to, which was little. But being in bed by 9 o'clock, and she'll be out within 20 minutes. Shoot, I've even done in bed by 8:30, and she'll be still out after 9 o'clock. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Either way, she's gonna fight me no matter what time she goes to bed, and no matter what time she wakes up, she's gonna fight me. And things were good until the counselor kind of changed things up on her, which should not have happened at all. And so before school started, we had met with the therapist or anything, and or the counselor, she said that they would see each other every morning before school started. And so Libby was going up and excited to see her, and was doing really good. Yeah, she'd had some panic attacks, and we worked through them, and she managed to see, as soon as she seen the counselor, she would go right to her and they would go. No big deal. And then, but when she kept doing this and things were okay and stuff, managed to get her there more closer to 7:40, 7:45, which was getting close, but she managed to be there on time for school and wasn't marked tardy, and she was doing really good. And then the counselor decided that it was time to cut her back to once a week. From seeing you every single day to also once a week, cold turkey. It's like that was not what we had talked about. Not one bit was that talked about. It's like, no, we had talked about doing it, going from 5 days a week to 3 days a week, then to 2 days a week, then 1 day a week, and then once every 2 weeks, and then when needed. But not like at week 2 of school. Like, no. Like, it was the first full week she did this. So now we're on technically week 3 of school, and she has already missed 3 days of school. Now that was more because of bowel problems, something totally different. But I think a part of it is because the counselor told her only once a week. And now today she said, well, we'll meet every single morning. Come right here every single morning. And I looked at my daughter, and she's like just stone faced. She's out of it. And we go, she goes up to me, she's like, good, sounds good. And I go, yep. I'm thinking in my head, it better be more than a week. Because if she comes back and tells me that you changed it on her after a week, I'm gonna be really, really, really pissed. So, I don't know. I think after this day, they kind of realized the full on attack that Liv can have when things change, when things are hard. I think it kind of got them scared and get kind of mad at it, and I don't know, I'm waiting to hear kind of crap they're gonna throw at me this time around, and I'm just happy that they kept her in school and not send her home. She's throwing up, send her home. No, she's throwing up because she's panicking and she's having a full-blown attack, and her body is in fight or flight mode, and she's doing both at the same time. Her body is fighting her, and she wants to flop and she wants to run, but she doesn't know what to do first, so I'm gonna try to go home now and get some work done, so because I have a deadline with photos, so I will talk to you all later, and I will keep you all posted as to how things go today.